Hello there from the players. This is our first English video official for spread the Italian community, the meta in the world. We want to do some videos in English for talk about the sector we have today in Milan with 500 people playing Star Wars Unlimited with us. It's a pleasure to play with French, Spanish, English people. German is always love, and we have 2 beautiful days for the tournament. And we thank you for coming to Italy. And for now, we start to make some videos in English for all the world. So if you want to support us, you can give a like, subscribe, and comment if you are here in Italy. You play, you win, you lose, and many things. We start with the meta-analysis of the sector, and we go in the first scheme, the leader in day 1 of the Swiss. We have more of 500 people, and we see very, very many leaders. Some takes Vader and Luke, the original soft one, for the showcase, and there is a little hint for after, and we see a lot of leader, but a lot of Jango.
Yes.
150 Jangos, but also Quillans, 66 Quillans, Sabine, Palpatine, Piet, and Solo. It's very good to see that meta is very well, but that Jango is too much. But we talk about the focus of this video, about the leader of the second day of the Swiss. 45 people fought for the winner, for the cup, and we see the half of these people is Jango again. And also in the final ratings, I think all the Jango is on top 25 near. So many people, many Jangos. But we have also an Anakin, Palpatine, Obi-Wan, is 13, Han Solo, Quillan, and 1 Luke. Yes, 1 Italian guy win the showcase of Luke Skywalker set 1, and in a couple of days we publish a video in English with him, with an interview about his deck, how he play, his run in this tournament, and his advice against Jango, because he against 5 Jangos, and in 4 times he win. So it's interesting. So if you want to see that video and you don't lose the video, subscribe, and you save the alarm. And after that, we talk about Jango. The problem of Jango is a problem, but first analyze the list, the deck list. So Jamma, let's start.
Thank you. So this is one of the top 8 Jango that we will see. Small spoiler: there are 7 Jangos out of the top 8. So we will see a little bit a little bit better this one, and for the next ones we will go a bit faster. First of all, this is the only list out of the 7 of the top that you will see playing the Fat Fire Spray. And this is something I want to say because it's a pretty interesting hint about the meta, because some months ago it was considered to be probably the best card of the game, and right now it's cut because it's considered too slow. And even if you play it, it's not a 3 in the deck, but only 2 copies. For the rest, what we can say about this deck? There are some new cards. We see the First Order Stormtrooper from set 4. This deck also runs the Droid Missile platform, Guerrilla Soldier, EG-2000, plays the Darth Vader Pilot. This is also another very unique card that you will only see in this deck, and Devastator. So we can say that Jango really became a lot better with this set.
Yeah.
And this is for sure one of the reasons that made this deck become probably tier 0. But as Matteo said before, we will talk about this thing later after the meta-analysis. Let's see also the sideboard, which is pretty interesting. We see Cham Syndulla, very strong versus Rampy decks, versus Han Solo. We see Commandeer probably for the mirror. Planetary Bombardment, also a very strong card in the mirror because always deals 12 practically. We see Electromagnetic Pulse, sorry, another very strong card in mirror. So we can see that people really think that to beat Jango right now the meta says that you have to play Jango because he's the best, but your deck is very well rounded about against him. So all of the sideboard and also sometimes even the main deck is built to be stronger in the mirror, which is something very interesting. And I think that this is it for this deck. We can go to the next one, Matteo.
Okay. And we see another deck. So now we talk about the difference in the various deck, because the base is similar. G2000, Triple Dark Raid, Guerrilla Soldier, War Juggernaut, Devastator. We see in all the decks. But let's see. This interesting is the Jugveran Antagonizer, the shoe free with Saboteur, and some lists play this one because the craft is smuggler. Because you play this, the other person play crafty, and this antagonizer kill the crafty and survives. So it's very interesting in mirror, casually in mirror. And we see also the shuttle 44 in for Krennic in one copy, and also we think it's for the mirror because it's shielded, and if you don't draw the AG or Triple Dark Raid, you can play this and survive on for the tap of Jango. In the side we see Bazin. Also my brother take Jango in this event. He also play Bazin, but I think with the testing, Bazin it's not very good with Jango, because okay, you take out cards in his hand, but probably the cards he draw with the Bazin effect is always or the same level or better, so it's difficult. And we see also the 7-foot defender. Many people don't play it. We don't see the first fire spray, but we see Boba Fett legendary of set 1. It's interesting because it's not so popular, but it's okay. And the other is identical to the other list, so we can go at the next one.
Yes, just a thing about what you said. I think that Bazin is very interesting versus Hard Control, for example.
Yeah,
I think that the main reason is in the sideboard is versus, for example, Bosk on decks like that.
Yeah, but
also Boba is very strong because he has 5 health, so even the ping last Arcane Town doesn't kill him, which I think is the main reason in a very mirrorish meta to play him, because he's strong in that specific situation. A turn to play that cannot be killed by Tarkin Town.
Yeah.
Let's see the third Jango, another top 8 by Giardini. This is also probably the strangest in a good sense list, because we see General Pride in 3/4 in the deck. We also see the Boba Fett armor with 3 Boba Fett. So it's very built around Boba Fett, which I also think is pretty interesting, because if you can put the Boba Fett armor on your Boba Fett legendary unit, then all of a sudden the unit cannot be tapped anymore by P37, ISB Agent, Ruthless Raider, War Juggernaut. So in order to tap the unit, you must attack with a unit with 3 or more attack, which is a pretty big problem for the opponent to do. So I think that's a really interesting take to gain a little advantage in the mirror. Then for the rest, we also see Boba Fett cost 5, only 1/4, the pilot one, also shielded, also can be played on the armor. And we also see a particular card, the Radiant 7, which is played in main deck in 2/4, and also that I think is pretty interesting with Triple Dark Raid. In the mirror deals a lot of damage, so makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's say that the remaining cards are always the same, so we can go on, I'd say.
Okay. And we have another Jango, TPK. And we see a list, the basic list, but we have the first Cad Bane inside. But we will see more. Cad Bane in mirror is the best, I think. Tai Phantom maybe for the dark control, but I think that the control can play with Jango normally in this day. And in the main deck we see the 3 cost 2/3 with coordinate when you can do a little Waylay, but we see Waylay is not the answer now to Jango. It's too slow, and also he have so many when played. So if you bounce that card, you make a favor to Jango many times. So it's not interesting. And for the other things, it's Planetary Bombardment, yes, no good to me dead, maybe for Han Solo. And this is typically a list of Jango. We can do the next one.
Yes.
Finally.
We have the only different leader. And also I'd say that is a pretty odd list because it's pretty interesting, something very unique that was not very well explored till now. And is a yellow Piet, 30 HP base Piet. What is the main purpose of the deck? For sure is to abuse, obviously, the Piet ability with a triple Dark Raid. So triple Dark Raid still remains the MVP, probably the best card, the most used across very different archetypes and across very different colors. In this case, with green, we can see that the guy bringing this deck plays a lot of very big ships. So some of them are not very played very frequently. For example, Chimera. We have Finalizer, very interesting. And then for the rest, we have a package of small droids that can be played with a triple Dark Raid when you put Invisible Hand on the ground. So you play Invisible Hand, you draw one of the droids. Then Invisible Hand attack, you draw another one of these droids, and you play them immediately. So you gain a tempo advantage, very consistent in the first rounds of the game. And from so on, the deck still plays a lot of AV stuff. So even if the game goes for longer, you for sure have enough fuel to beat almost anything. So I think it's a pretty interesting deck. Maybe the main problem is when you don't find this combo. I think I did not try this deck, so I speak theoretically, hypothetically. And also another problem is that versus very aggro decks, you do not have any kind of heal. So if you go down the first turns, then it's harder to swing back because you're probably too low on health and you simply cannot survive. But very very interesting deck, very good deck. Also we have another very strange card, Dogfight, jump to light speed.
Dogfight is interesting because you can attack with the Devastator, the other capital ship, to against the ship also is tapped. So Jango tap, okay, Dogfight, and they kill.
True, very very strong with Devastator because also has Overwhelm. So even if you attack a unit, you still deal a lot of damage to base. Same thing with Maul. With Invisible Hand, the double attack, you put another droid in the deck. Chimera you can discard. So there are a lot of interesting dynamics with this card. So very interesting. And that said, we can go on, I think.
Yeah. And we turn in the Jango zone. Okay. This is, I think, the same list we see 2 lists ago. It's the same. And so the considerations are that, so we can go on the other list.
Yes. So we see the finalist list, the second place guy, Voltaire. So congratulations to him for reaching second place in such a big tournament. And just a small thing that maybe we could have said before, but still is a good time to think about, is that we can see the top list, all the top 4. Still, also the first place will have the tactic, is that this kind of Django likes to play on turn 1 two 1-drops. So maybe a Grido and an SB agent to play Turking Town with. And looks like this is the most reliable, consistent way to build him, but it's not the only one, because if we look at the list we saw before, not all those lists played the strategy of the double 1-drop. Many just played the 2-drops on space, or maybe played Pride, but looks like that this one, the strategy of playing the double 2 1-drops, is the most the one that brought the best results in this tournament. So is another interesting thing to look at. But for the rest, we can see that is also always the same list. The cards are still the same. We have the 1/4 of the Shuttle of Krennic, but we saw it before. We have 3 Boba Fett, like we said, very strong in Mirror. And I'd say that this is it for this deck.
Yeah. And we can go to the final, and we now see the finalist, and we talk about the Jango problem. We can try to resolve it. So this is the first place of Avesteto. Congratulations, because you win the tournament, so very, very well. And in this list we see also General Pride and the Radiant inside. And in the main deck we see a card, also the Antagonizer, and a card, I love that card in all this set. I try to play Armed to Thief. I don't know if you win with Armed to Thief, I don't know, but I love it. I love that card. It's too beautiful. And that's it. It's very, very same list we see in the other, so there's not too much to say. But we want to talk about we came back to the first slide, and we talk about do we have a problem with Django? Jama, what do you think?
Well, it's clear that by this tournament, for sure, Django Tarkin Town, not the leader, but Django Tarkin Town. So the combination with these colors is for sure the tier 0 deck, at least for now. The deck to beat, and the deck to build around your deck if you want to have a chance at least to compete in a very competitive, strong tournament like this. Just a thing that I want to say in defense of this problem is that the meta is very fresh. The set just dropped, and all of a sudden we have these very interesting, very competitive tournaments that are the sector qualifiers. So for sure, people didn't have enough time to try to test for other things that may have a good matchup versus Django Tarkin Town. And maybe we will see in the next weeks just some kind of revolution in the meta. Some smart people will find ways to counter, and so the meta will start to shape as it should always do. No? You know, there are some stages in the meta. We are right now in the early part, where most of the time the strongest deck that ruled the previous set still are the best one, because we didn't have time to test. So this is the defense of Django. That said, I must also admit that Django is a very strong deck, and for sure is a very skilled deck. But still, the play is very linear. So you know, even if you are a new player to the game, you take this deck, you try it, and if you go against maybe a stronger player because he's a lot more expert than you, he might have an hard time versus this deck, because the plays, like I said, are linear, and the best curve you can play is always the same. Obviously, then there is a skill issue, like every deck, know the matchup, how to play the mirror, and so on. So I'm not trying to minimize the player that won with this deck, obviously. But this is a center that might make you think about the power of this deck. Probably is a little bit too much, but we can also take comparison with his son, the old king.
I
Bob.
wanted to do a precision. Jamma is the king of Boba in when
Not really. Let's say that I really like that deck and I only play that when he was available. Sadly, now he's not
only
anymore, but
tier
it was.
zero, only tier zero.
Yes, yes. And only tier 0. If you have to play a deck in a tournament, always bring the tier 0. I'm sorry. I know it's not the healthy way to think, but you want to win, you need to bring the strongest deck on the table. That said, if we take a comparison with Boba Set 1, we can see that there are some differences. Boba was a strong leader. His ability was broken, so you could play him in any combination of color. We saw blue Bobas, we saw ECL Bobas, also in the end the green Boba 30 HP. We saw double yellow. We also saw the red one that started this trend of triple dark raid and so on and so on. It was the first very strong triple dark raid deck. But with Jango the situation is different because Jango leader is not that strong. He's a strong leader for sure. He's a very strong ability. But the combination with the red color, all the ships that you can play, Ruthless Raider, the new Devastator, made him almost unbeatable. Looks like for now, till now. But if you want to adjust the problem, I don't think that banning the leader is the right choice. Maybe you should ban some cards, probably, because banning the leader is not right because the leader is not tier 0. The tier 0 is the combination. Maybe you could think about banning Triple Dark, adjusting the cost of the card. I don't know. These are some speculation, and for sure, Fantasy Flight will find better ways to do this. But this is my opinion. This is my take on the problem. I don't think Jango is the problem. I think that you should lower the power level of the deck by adjusting some cards, maybe nerfing or banning, if nerfing is not possible, the core cards of the deck, which are for sure Triple Dark Raid, I think. If you ban or if you nerf Triple Dark Raid, the deck will have a very, very, very big change in power level.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think the same because if you ban Django, you can play the same deck with Boba down to light speed. It's not that strong, okay, but it's strong. Not too much, but with indirect damage, you can AFC the people with all the unit with one life. They play Planet Bombardment, hate the damage in base, or you kill all your units, but maybe you have 3 left in your base of life, so it's that. It's a very interesting, it's a more fun deck Boba than Django for me, but yes. And also for the fact all people can play Django, I am the demonstration because I play Han Solo for 4 months, so I think I'm not better player, I'm a good player of Han Solo, and I lose against a 2 player. They have start to play Jango the day of the tournament. So this is a proof because they start to play. It's my second game. Okay. No, I can't do anything. Nothing. It's too powerful. Cargo, Juggernaut, EG, it's too much. But I think it's with a restricted list. Maybe only 1 triple dark raid, or maybe no triple dark raid, I don't know. Maybe change the cost. We doesn't know, but we want to know your opinion. So comment in this video what you think about Django, about this meta. And I think also in the next week we see a modification of the meta, and people start to prepare also for the PQs and the regional. I don't think it's for Liverpool, the next sector, the next week. We have a change of meta. I think in Liverpool we have 200, 300 of people, so minor event, but I think in that event we have 60-70% of Django. I think it's too near to think another way. You need to play Jango and hope the force is with you.
Yes. You need to play Jango and take him in mirror. So
Yeah.
we will see, I think, very interesting takes on decks to try to be the strongest in mirror. Probably that is the way to play in the sector for sure.
I think also tech for the mirror in the mains and inside for the other match.
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your patience. We hope we enjoy you, and if you like the video, be like, comment, and subscribe. It's very, very important. And you see for a couple of days with the Luke Skywalker deck tech. Bye.
Bye.